And of course, I didn't realize it as an intern, but I was just literally waiting.
I'll mention before you leave, please grab this if you can. It's got the State Farm Center policy things on the masks, and then an update. They, like at Memorial Stadium, they've gone to cashless concessions, so the boilerplate language is in there. Great, grab space and in your upcoming stuff to include that and help us.
And help the fans who are coming to the game.
You guys ready back there? You all good? Okay, we'll get started with Coach. Go ahead and get us an opening statement on how practice has been and getting ready for exhibition, then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, I think today was practice 15, and it's definitely at that point. We need to see a different uniform and something that's not orange and blue. And to be quite honest, I wish I'd done something last weekend with the veteran team. We're excited to get going, and yet it's when you do inter-squad scrimmages, they're challenging. They're challenging to evaluate. You basically look at your principles and see what you're doing and how you're doing them, but you can't make too much about good offense and good defense or vice versa. Kind of look for guys' feel and IQ and those things, but I know we got to get tougher. I know we've got to learn to challenge each other more in practice, not just be satisfied with execution. So we're fighting through some of that. Like I said, I'm curious to see what Saturday looks like. We've got 5 guys: Crivello, Coleman, Brandon Lee, 6 guys actually, and 3 freshmen that have never been in this building with the lights on and people in the stands. So it's one of the reasons I moved to 2 exhibition games, is to get those guys acclimated to that. And St. Francis comes in. Ryan Marks does a tremendous job there. They're going to test our principles. They run a lot of Princeton type actions and have a lot of good shooters, and so they're going to make us guard a lot of various actions. They like to go deep in the clock, so it'll be good for us, and we'll be I hope ready to go and get this season started with some competitive spirit and competitive fire.
Brad, for the last time you were in this building with fans, you were playing Iowa on March 8th, 2020. What's going to be to have them back in, and how much has your program changed since that moment, since then?
Well, it was obviously a great day. Not just the outcome, but when I took over at Illinois, I think one of the things that I remembered and I envisioned was that type of atmosphere, and that day was special. That day was electric. This building was one of the hardest places to play in the country that day, and since then, obviously, that was the end of that season, and we've had another season which we accomplished some very nice things, and I think that that's helped build off that game, a level of excitement. I feel great about where our brand is and how we're continuing to grow. We're not even close to where I want to be yet, but we're starting to get there, and there can be no let up, and I'm excited. Our fans are the best, and they're passionate, and I can't believe we sold out Orange Crush tickets in less than 3 hours. They're phenomenal, and just the thought of getting 15,000 back in here excites me, and I'm looking forward to see how our guys react to that.
We've got a mic going around here. Go ahead.
Hey Brad, any special connections to St. Francis or Indiana next week?
No, I've known Ryan Marks for years. Got a lot of respect for him as a coach, and he's a guy that is, as a tactician, is excellent. And we just don't hear about him because he's not Division I level. But he's a tremendous ball coach. They're in state, Indiana University out of Pennsylvania is a traditional tournament team at their level. You know, they had a little shortened season last year. And we set that game up, and actually Orlando and their coach were very, very close. So it just made sense. It's kind of a, you know, be another opportunity to get in front of our fans. So, but I'm excited about this one in state, be able to help them a little bit financially, and then get a great test for a team that runs a lot of actions.
Brad, beyond maybe getting those 6 guys you talked about, just the experience of being here, just are there other advantages or disadvantages to going 2 exhibitions over some combination of that and like a scrimmage?
Well, you know, I think that, you know, you obviously simulate game-like situations. There's advantages for a scrimmage, no doubt. I mean, we could meet another high major team someplace and smack heads and go at it and have control of it. But, you know, I thought this year was just a great opportunity, and coming off of the last season, and again, just wanting our fans to have an extra opportunity, wanting our fans to be able to see us as often as possible, and again, acclimate our guys. You know, I leave out Omar and Alfonso. I mean, Plummer, those guys haven't been in this building either. So we got a big group of guys that need to feel that energy.
In a game like this, you get a chance to experiment with different lineup combinations. How many do you feel like you have with this group, given the depth and just the overall versatility?
We're gonna play a lot of guys. There's no doubt about that. I mean, everybody's, and I'm gonna look at some different combinations, and you know, I think that there's a great opportunity to look at Coleman at the 5 and be able to do some pick and pop things with him, as well as you know, him at the 4 spot. I think you can expect to see some bigger lineups and maybe some smaller lineups with the three little guys, as I call them. But yeah, we're gonna play everybody. Those freshmen need to get that experience and feel that adrenaline, and you know, see what they can do. So it's a great learning opportunity for us as coaches to see what these guys do and how they react to the bright lights.
What's maybe the potential impact of one more season with DeMonte, you know, in this program? Just what more could he maybe add to it?
About 2-3 weekends in late season will be really good. He's a culture guy. He's who we are. He and Trent are back for a reason, and you know, it's one more opportunity for them to enhance their legacy here, enhance what they want to be remembered by, and again, they've been here since the onset, you know, since it was rough, and you know, it's a proud moment for me as coach to see not just DeMonte but Trent come back as well. So you know, DeMonte's you know, he's that jack of all trades guy. He's going to play on the perimeter. He's going to guard bigs depending on lineups and how we settle in. So I'm excited. I need him to continue to be the great leader he is.
Okay, Coach, obviously you feel pretty good about where you're at with Andre Corbello at point guard, but in terms of other guys in that rotation, where are you at with the backup point guard?
Trent, Hutch, we've been playing Brandon Pajemski there some. Yeah, I feel like, you know, DeMonte Williams has played it before. He knows everything that we do. You know, he's a very, very good ball handler. So I think we've got a multitude of guys. And again, you know, we don't play. You know, everybody plays in ball screens in our system, so it's not where it's just one guy. But you know, that's a nice thing about having multiple handlers. It's something we work on every day. We spend the first 20 minutes of practice in those breakdown segments, so everybody's handling the ball, and they're not at Corbello's level or Trent's experience, but they're very capable.
Last season, obviously no fans. Does it maybe mean more, the fact that they'll be back in the gym? Because
Absolutely.
Before then, it maybe seemed like people took them for granted, but now they're actually back.
Yeah, you know, it was eerie walking out there before the game, and no fans, no Orange Crush, no pop, you know, it's just I think if we did take them for granted, shame on us. And I think there's a valuable lesson to be learned about how important they are. Fans make college basketball. Student sections make college basketball. And it's not the same game. I'm proud of our athletes in the Big Ten. Everybody fought and competed at a really high level. But college basketball is as much about the name on the front of the jersey and that passion, and because it entices so many people to want to be a part of it, and it creates great memories. And you know, the saddest thing about last year for me wasn't the end. It was not. It was the fact that our fans didn't get to enjoy that team and see how much fun they had and how together they were, and see their personalities grow and develop. And man, this place would have been bonkers if the fans had been here. So it's everything college sports is about, is that fan involvement.
Brad, I think you told the fans after the practice, we'll learn how to guard eventually. What have you seen defensively? Because Trent said that's got to be the focus for your guys.
Yeah, I hope we can position ourselves to get to where KenPom has us ranked in the preseason, number 2. We were number 7 last year. Again, we're not going to get there without we got to get tougher. We just got to get tougher. Our assignment, being assignment sound, we'll grow into that. Will we make some mistakes early? Absolutely. But if we don't develop some toughness and grit and fight and get that beyond some of our veteran guys and some of our guys, then we're not going to reach that number. I feel great about what we're trying to do, and it's developing that just nastiness that you have to have on that end, and sometimes it's hard to see against yourself. So I'm really curious, probably first and foremost, about that just nasty mentality that you have to have if you want to be where we want to go.
Is there a plan for Omar tomorrow, like in terms of minutes or in terms of rotation, that you kind of want to get him involved with and just allow him to get his feet wet in the program with another team opposite you guys?
Well, he's going to play. I mean, so to say I have a specific plan, I think that I'm going in with the idea that he's got to be a big part of what we're trying to do, and we're going to throw him out there, but we're also going to look at a lot of guys that way. And obviously you get the adrenaline rush, you get conditioning, you get all those things, and you want to see how guys react and how mental fatigue sets in and how they play through that. So those are all things we want to look at with Omar, and getting back into the swing of things, so to speak.
Monte has just really sort of done whatever was necessary the last 4 years. Just in year 5, are you still? I mean, what kind of maybe growth are you still seeing in his game or in his approach, or maybe just how he's going about things?
Yeah, he made a huge jump last year, and obviously the offensive side, shooting the basketball. I would like to see him take a couple more, 2, 3 attempts a game more. And if that means his percentage drops to the mid-40s, I'm good with those. I'm good with all that. I think that his status on opponents' scouting reports has changed. I think one of the things I've really challenged DeMonte with is being one of the best conditioned guys on our team. We need his activity back on the offensive glass. It's one of the areas he slipped in last year. He's been dominant in that area in practice. Dominant. And he's got a natural gift to chase the ball. He's got great length, and he is as strong as anybody that I've coached. And so we're seeing a guy that I think has got room to grow, and we need him to.
How closely will you monitor Hutch in this environment, playing in front of thousands of people and just kind of getting out there for the first time?
Well, if anybody's got rust on him, it's him. And that's not a knock, that's fact. And, you know, he's been battling a little bit of a flu bug, you know, this week. So, today was his first day back in practice. So, yeah, we need Hutch to be healthy, stay healthy, and then find his niche, find what that's going to be. We've played him at the point, we've played him on the wing, and one of the biggest things for Hutch is he's got a chance to be an elite defender. Great quickness, great length, athleticism, and he's a guy that, you know, that's the area that I want to see his grit. I know we'll score the ball, and we need him to score, and he can do that. But I need to see his grit, his fight, and that's my primary concern going into Saturday.
Back here, Ray.
Brett, Iowa made his NBA debut last night. Did you get a chance to watch any of that game?
Unfortunately, I did not. I was listening on the radio when they started. I was in Peoria last night for the Peoria Smoker, having a great time with Coach Wardle, and 350 or 400 of our closest friends who, great event, great cause, but I missed it. And I'll text him, I'll reach out and text him today. We text yesterday, and but he's sounded like he played pretty well, and I'm excited for him and excited for the state, because I think the Bulls are going to be really good.
Without giving away any secrets, can you do different things schematically with different lineups? Would that be something that you'd look to do based on smaller lineup, or I know that Omar can guard maybe a little bit different than Kofi. Is that something that you guys are evaluating?
Yeah, today was actually one of the first days we've done some different things. We've been very, for lack of a better word, very blah in terms of just our fundamental base and trying to get guys to understand that. And I wanted to get to that point before I could start branching out too much. But yeah, I think so. I think, you know, we get Omar, we get Coleman, we've got some options on the defensive side. I think that, you know, the three little guys together, give us a different punch on the offensive side. So, you know, we've got a package in that we like with that, and then on the defensive side, we've just started, Derek, to make some of those changes.
You got a player who led the country in dunks last year, and obviously fans weren't allowed to see that or weren't able to see that in person most of the time. And how did Devil react to what could be his last season after not getting a chance to see another great player in Iowa, I guess, in his last season?
Well, I hope they appreciate it. You know, I know, you know, Kofi's said this publicly. I think he's right on. I think he wants to truly be one of the greatest to ever wear the uniform. And I hope our fans appreciate that. I challenge him with that every single day. If you got to put in the time, you got to work. He's improved. He's in great shape. You know, 79 dunks. I enjoyed watching all those. And I'd like to see that number continue to grow. And yet we've added some versatility in his game. And I think that's one of the things that I think will help our team as well, especially with the guards we have and what their skill set provides. So enjoy Kofi. You know, he's a unique player. I think he's obviously a preseason player of the year candidate nationally. And you know, I want people to understand what a great human being Kofi Coburn is. Not just a great player. I mean, that young man never has a bad day. And he has a smile on his face. He is excited. He never complains. I mean, imagine a world if we had a bunch of guys like people like Kofi who never complained. And he got mad at me today. He complained today and says I didn't compliment him on his spreading up and down the court. Okay, but man, what a great kid. What a wonderful guy to coach.
We wondered a lot what NIL was gonna look like once it was implemented. You've had some guys that have been very active in that. How have they handled it now that you've seen them sign deals and just go through that process and still, balance the basketball and the business part of it?
Now it's getting ready to get hard. So far it's been great. So far it's been really good. And now, most young people have a very hard time with distractions or other things. And it's very hard to focus on and keep things very simple in school, basketball, and not letting that become a distraction is something that I'm in tune with, and helping them manage their time, and having that understanding that, hey, we got to go win a game, and we got to be good in practice, and all those things. But it's been fabulous to this point, and I think now's when we really get our antennas up, so to speak, as to what's going on in those areas, because time management is something that we're obviously monitoring the most with these young guys.
Anything else? All right.
See you Saturday.
That's good.
Thanks, Coach.